Now we're going to turn a little bit away from GDP, but what we're going to talk about next does relate back to GDP. You see, we're going to start talking about consumption, savings, and investment, and some of these theoretical aspects that go along with it. And you see, this does relate back to GDP in the sense that we are wondering how much of our income, of our disposable income, are we going to be putting towards consumption of goods, and that consumption of goods helps aid in increasing the GDP. Well, now we're going to talk about income, and we're going to define income as disposable income. So disposable income is the income that a household receives after taxes. So you might have a household that's receiving, say, $50,000 in income coming in, and that's their salary, but yet they might be in that tax bracket of owing, say, 20% of their income in taxes. So if this particular family receives $50,000 and they're in a tax bracket where they pay 20%, they're left with $40,000. So whenever we say this after tax, this disposable income, it's the amount of income that they receive after taxes have been taken out. So in this case, if they were receiving a salary of $50,000, after taxes, their disposable income would be, say, $40,000. So the typical American or the household can use this disposable income in one of two ways. One, they can either consume that income and actually spend that money, or they can save that money, place it in the bank in order to spend it later. And let's say that this particular household decides to take that disposable income and spend part of it, and a lot of times what you'll find is they spend some and save some. And as your income actually grows, they wind up saving a higher percentage and actually spending, they'll spend more in raw numbers, but save a higher percentage. So if you're going to consume some of that money, you're going to consume it using one of two products in order to buy one of two products. So you're either going to buy a non-durable good or a durable good. And this consumption is also known as these household expenditures. If you remember back, it's that consumer expenditure, that household expenditure that we talked about on some of those last charts that we were discussing. It could also be known as this consumer goods and services. These final goods and services that are being consumed by the consumer, by these households. So what exactly is a non-durable good? A non-durable good is one that it has less than 1 year or a service. So anything that's going to be consumed within 1 year is considered a non-durable good. Some very common examples of a non-durable good would be something like bread. Bread does not last longer than a year. If it does, you really shouldn't need it. So, since it's less than 1 year, that is considered a non-durable good. Another aspect that might be considered a non-durable good might be milk or fruits that aren't canned or something like that, because it's not going to last over a year and you're going to use it up within that year. Another aspect that's considered a non-durable good is a service. All services are considered non-durable good. Because they're non-tangible and you use them typically right whenever you get them, say you apply for a loan, you use that money right away, that is considered a service, especially since it's going to be used up within less than 1 year. On the other hand, we have what's known as durable goods. So it's a life greater than a year. Often you can consider clothes durable goods. Cars are definitely durable goods. Oftentimes, large appliances within your house are considered durable goods. Think about it this way. How many of y'all want to go out there and buy a car and use it only for 1 year and then trade it in? Now, some people might be like that, but those people have an immense amount of money and they can afford to do that. Somebody like me, I can't quite do that. I'm going to take my vehicle that I buy and I'm going to use it for longer than a year. That makes it a durable good. Same thing with clothes. Some people might be able to afford clothes every other week. I'm one of those people that likes to keep my clothes until there's holes all in them, and then I keep them for a little bit longer. Use them in the summer, they're air conditioned. So, whenever we talk about consumption, you're either going to be consuming non-durable or durable goods. Next, we're going to discuss these investments. See, business expenditures on capital goods, new buildings, or equipment are considered investments. So, or if they are looking to increase their business inventories. So businesses, if they're looking to increase the amount of goods that they are selling or looking at increasing their inventory, that's considered an investment. If they're buying equipment, buildings, or just other capital goods, those are all considered investments. That's all that investment aspect. On the other hand, households, the only real investments that they have in terms of what we're going to talk about are new residences. If they're building and buying a new house, that is considered an investment for households. So, consumption for an economy. How does consumption play out? Well, it kind of makes sense. As income rises, planned consumption rises, but not as much as income. So what is that exactly does that mean? Well, if we look over here at this table, this graph, we see that disposable income is on the bottom. And we see that consumer expenditures is over here on the left-hand side. And as disposable income increases, we see as disposable income is increasing, the amount that we're spending is actually increasing. But it is not a 1-to-1 ratio. What that means is we are not earning $100 more in income and spending all $100, or we're not earning $1,000 more in income and spending all $1,000. Just stop and think about this in your real life. Say you're working at a job and now all of a sudden you're getting a pay raise of $100. What are you going to do with that $100? Well, you might spend it all. Or what a lot of people might do is they might take that $100, spend $50 more every week, but save the other $50. So what we find is in a whole economy, as this income rises, yes, consumption is going to rise. This planned consumption is going to rise. It is going to increase. But we're also going to find that people aren't spending it on a 1-to-1 ratio. While people are actually going to be placing some in savings. Then we also have what in an economy is known as an autonomous consumption. So this is the consumption level even if this disposable income is equal to 0. So on this graph, we see that if disposable income is equal to 0, there is still some level of spending going on. Well, does that make sense? If disposable income is 0, is there still spending going on? Well, yeah, because guess what? The government is going to be receiving taxes, and this economy is still going to be spending money, and that's going to be coming out in terms of taxes. And you do need a certain amount in order to survive, so there will be some spending going on, even if the disposable income is equal to 0. That is known as an autonomous consumption. So this consumption function that we're going to talk about next is equal to this autonomous consumption plus this marginal propensity to consume. MPC means marginal propensity to consume times this disposable personal income. So here is those labels kind of listed out. We see that consumption, autonomous consumption, this MPC, the marginal propensity to consume, then also your disposable income. So what exactly is this marginal propensity to consume? I think we're going to dive into it a little bit more in the next video, but just to kind of give you a little bit of a taste, this is at what percentage of that increase in disposable income are you going to spend? So let's say the MPC, that marginal propensity to consume, is at 70% or at 0.70. And that means that you get an increase in disposable income of $100. And out of that extra $100, you are going to spend 70, but you're also going to save 30. So what it's saying, and sorry, my writing looks like a 3-year-old. I'm trying to do it off of the mouse. Again, I apologize for that. But this MPC it's saying that we understand that there is not going to be a one-to-one ratio between income and consumption. But what we can do is we can figure out on this planned consumption aspect what we believe that as income rises, or how much of a person's disposable income are they going to spend over and above this autonomous consumption, this amount that they already have to spend. So you can think about it this way. This autonomous consumption is the amount that they need to spend in order to survive. Whereas after they spend that amount that they need to survive, then anything, or the amount that they receive after their income rises above this amount that they need to survive, anything over and above that, they're only going to spend a fraction of it. That fraction is known as this MPC, the marginal propensity to consume.